What's up? It's Christy.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Rashana, and we are the 1000 Club.
Woo! Hey.
Here for another episode of some real, relevant, and relatable girl talk. We are three friends living in three different parts of the country that want to share our group chat, Instagram chat, conversations, friendship chat with all of you all. So, welcome to the 1000 Club. Catch us every other Thursday wherever you stream your podcast. And you can also watch us on YouTube or Facebook, 1000 Club Live.
Hey, the life. The life. The life.
So, ladies, let's check it in. Courtney, what you been up to?
Oh, what have I been up to?
Nicely wrapped head wrap on your head.
Yes. Mother Earth has entered the building. I'm coming to serve. What have I been up to? Nothing much. Just still doing my kickboxing. I am doing that. What else? I am working. I'm traveling. I'll be in Atlanta at the end of the month to see my aunt, uncle, and my mom. What else have I
And your
done?
cousin?
Yeah, so my cousin and my little babies, my cousin's babies. I'm so excited to see them.
I get to see Kayla.
Yes, I get to see Kayla. She graduates next weekend, so that's exciting. So we'll do something when I get there for her.
Shout out to Kayla. If you follow us on Instagram, I posted some of Courtney and I's photos from our FaceTime boudoir body positivity shoots with her cousin Kayla, who is graduating.
Yes. So she's branching out into that type of photography because she's never done it before. So that was pretty cool. My dad and my brother will be coming down this weekend, so it'll be nice to spend time with them. What else do I have going on? I feel like that's it. I don't really have nothing else going on. I'm just out here living, loving, glowing, and flowing, and yes. I became a plant mom. That's one thing. I bought some plants.
Hey, happy Mother's Day.
Thanks. My little bamboo tree and my peace lily are slowly growing. So stay tuned on that. Hopefully they continue to grow. But that's it. That's all I got.
Name your plants?
I haven't named my plants yet, but that's a good one. I need to name them. I do need to name them.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
I have Light over here is drooping heavily. I've tried to save.
Oh no.
I have tried to save Light. I have no idea what to do with Light. But that was my very first. And then I have two other orchids. I have all orchids. Because I love them, but this is really not the environment for them. So it's very hard for them to grow, but the leaves are sprouting. So I'm hoping that some plants, but yes.
You got one that's flourishing over there.
This one, the baby one here, is flourishing too. Yeah, this one has a little leaf coming in. So I have Light, I have Prue, and I have Baby.
Prue, Prue?
Yeah, Prue. Yep, and Baby. And then I have another little small desk plant that I got from someone that I'm bringing back to life apparently. All these plants for some reason I'm bringing back to life. And then my realtor sent me some sort of basil plant that I'm supposed to work with.
Oh, so you can like eat it.
Yeah, I forget what it said. It's like basically we are appreciative of you or something like that. It was
That's cute. So cute. So cute.
Yeah, we'll see if it survives.
So what have you been up to?
Besides trying to keep my plants alive, I want to shout out Her Holistics. I think it's Her Holistic Wellness on Instagram. Kiera, she does a lot of things with crystals. And so I have a chakra ring. As you all can see, it has all elements of chakra in it. And then I saw this on Etsy, but of course I'm always going to support the homies and buy Black. So she made this based on what I saw on Etsy. Don't ask me all the chakras and anything because I'm new to all of this. So
one.
Yes, it's all of them there. It's all 7.
The throat chakra, the heart chakra, the third eye, the silver one.
Yeah, I know there's a root and all of that. But
Mhm.
yes, I asked her to make, I saw this and I asked her to make this because I am in a place of aligning everything. So I thought it would be nice when I saw this randomly on Etsy. I thought it would be really nice to have something that would remind me of that. Then I have this beautiful ankh, which is a citrine, which is my stone that continues to find me. I love this piece. It's just so cute. And as you know, the ankh is the Holy Trinity, but not in the sense of like the Bible, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the sense of, um, mom, dad, child. So you have like this is the dad, this is like the simulates like the fallopian tubes and the baby. And this is
Oh.
so yes, I got this because citrine is my stone and it's a lot about manifestation and clarity, removing like evil spirits. And I started wearing it for my 30th birthday. That was a big year for me to really remove a lot of negative, just awful things that were going on. And so I wanted the ankh specifically because right now I am manifesting family, specifically family of my own. So
Yes.
that is what that's there. I also professionally release Black women in the workplace. I'm really excited about that because
Yay!
and thanks, y'all. This has been a labor of love, and it took a lot of me healing and doing what I need to do to get here and to be able to engage in these conversations. So I hope that it is equally healing and inspiring for all Black women who are working. There's something that you can take out of this. It's really a reflective piece about who we are, who we've been, how all that contributes to how we show up in the workplace and what we need to do to be successful, safe, and supported. So yeah, you can watch that on YouTube, and you can watch it on my Facebook channel. So on YouTube, we are Vocal Action Network, which is what I'm calling all of, I guess, the social media presence and the resources and information and conversations that we provide there. And on Facebook, you can just follow Vocal Action LLC, and it will be up there in its own section as well, Black women in the workplace. So I'm really excited about that. Um, and yeah, like Courtney said, continuing to work out. I'm starting to see some gains. So that's really exciting. Um, I don't like it. I don't like working out. I will still say that. That's not what I like to do. But you know, it's gonna be healthy all around. And as you all know, like working out increases blood circulation, which does help with like hair growth and also reducing inflammation. And we started off this season talking about my hair loss due to CCA, which is a form of scarring alopecia. And yeah, so I just had my last results of my AI test, and it overall is getting better. It's not something that will ever like come back. It's not according to medicine, I say it's irreversible. And I say according to medicine because I'm a believer in Jesus Christ and he can do whatever he wants. So
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, so y'all just continue to pray for me, send ideas and stories my way if you have any questions on who to go to, especially if you're in the DMV, and some things to think about, support groups, whatever. Reach out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, as you can see, I'm here with Rashana.
Mhm.
I finally got a chance to visit Rashana's love home.
Yes.
I don't know. I think she's mentioned she's named her home Love. So,
I don't know. Yeah.
oh
But
well,
yeah.
if she
I don't
hasn't
think
mentioned,
Early on.
Love today.
Yes.
I haven't seen Rashana since December
Mm-hmm.
when her and Courtney came to Chicago. So it's definitely good to be able to see Rashana in person and
Yes.
record together.
Mhm.
Let's see. So yes, I'm in the DMV. I came here for Mother's Day, which was this past Sunday. And we went to Williamsburg, Virginia, my parents and I. That's been like our COVID getaway. So we went back there and we did some like different things this time. We went to a Black owned restaurant. And we did a mead tasting, a honey and mead tasting. So I brought some today for Rashana and I to drink. I went to Silver Hand Meadery, and this is their all blues mead. And mead is fermented honey with water and then like other spices or fruit or other type of alcohol. So this is infused with their blueberry blossom honey and blueberries.
And it's
So
so good.
It sounds good.
It actually is really good. And I'm not like a sweet wine drinker unless it's like dessert. Like I do like sweet wines with dessert, but this is not like overly powering sweet. But I love that it has the hints of the spice undertones, and there's something else, and I guess that's the honey, like maybe because it's like a natural honey. So maybe that is, like I don't put sugar in my tea. I like honey in my tea. So I think I like that type of sweetener.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really cool experience because they do sell honeys too. They have so many different types of honey. So to try all the different kinds was just really cool. They had rare honeys, whipped honeys that I didn't even know. I didn't know what a whipped honey was, but yeah, so we bought some honeys and bought the meat. I also got a strawberry meat. So yeah.
How did you find out about it?
Just a Google search. Like I was looking for different things to do in Williamsburg. All we really do is go shopping at the outlets. And that has been really about it because there's not much open. They're starting to open back up more, but like Busch Gardens, if you're familiar with Williamsburg, that's what they're known for, Busch Gardens and Water Country. So yeah, I was looking for different things to do and this came up and I was like, what the heck is mead? And I was like, hey, it's different. I want to try it. So my mom and I did that. And they have a lot of other wineries down there too. So I would have loved to do a little wine tour, but we didn't have time for that. So but yeah, I'm gonna post more about what we did and what there is to do in Williamsburg on YouTube. Come along with me. So you can see that if you want a little weekend getaway, if you're in the DMV or on the East Coast, you can get away to Williamsburg. They have more than Busch Gardens and Water Country in Colonial Williamsburg. So yeah.
And I was stung by a bee at that Busch Gardens at 6 years old.
Love me some Busch Gardens.
And I love, yes. Growing up, we went to Busch Gardens every other year because I have family in Virginia Beach. And so we would drive every other year, we would drive down, and then the other years they would come up. And every year when we drove down, we would go to Busch Gardens. I have music videos. Remember they used to let you do the music videos at the theme park? I have music videos. We have family recorded tapes.
Yes.
Shout out to Club Nouveau. And yes, I was stung by a bee. There actually, I sat on it, so I don't know if I
maybe you stung the bee.
I didn't listen. I sat down, and I guess it tooted up. Okay. Yes, and I had to walk around with an ice pad on my butt. Got the ice pad. They had to take me in the back of an arcade. Like the EMT came, took me in the back of an arcade.
You had
like
to get an EMT?
behind, and it wasn't even like a room. I was like behind, like the little games. I had to walk around with this ice pack for the rest of the day. I was so upset.
Oh my God.
Yep. And I was riding all day and I was so mad because I didn't, and I'm upset because I was going to go on this ride, but I got nervous at the last second. And had I not gotten nervous, I would have been on that ride because that was the first year that I was tall enough to get on.
Okay.
the big rides, and I was riding all day, but that one scared me a little bit. So I'm gonna have to try. Now, can you order this?
I believe you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can check them out, check their website out or their socials, Silver Hand Meadery, Meadry.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And there's actually Charm City Works, I believe it is. They're out of Baltimore. They have mead and they said they sell them at like Costco, I think Sam's Club. So if you want to taste mead, a different type of mead, you can go there and they're local. Yes. So today we are having a real, raw, relevant conversation, and we're just going to go for it, ask questions. We have a little game that we're going to play, but I just want to start out by asking you ladies, what revelations have you had about friendships this year thus far, being that we are, coming through COVID, the world is opening back up. Have you discovered anything about your friendships in particular? And what revelations have you had?
When you say this year, you mean like between 2020 to now, or you just mean 2021? Like these last 5 months?
I would say more so these last 5 months.
Okay, okay, good. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Revelations. Yeah. So one thing that I'm working on in therapy is focusing on the love that I receive versus the love that I don't receive. And so I am a person who has struggled with asking for what it is that I need. And because of that, I often feel like I'm not getting what I need, right? And I take things very personally, and I see it as if I'm not receiving what it is. Like, let's say, for instance, like, let's say I ask you for a red pen, but you bring me something that's burgundy, right? And so, like, and that's something simple, but in my mind, because it's not red, it's burgundy. I will see it as you did not think enough of me to find something that is red. You don't care about me to give me what I asked for. And so I take it very personally. More so, the person might have just said, this is what I was able to find. Maybe they went to several stores, and I don't know this, but maybe they went to several stores and they were able to find burgundy. Maybe they think burgundy and red are the same thing, right? that could be that. But so what I'm learning is to focus on the love that I do receive rather than what I don't receive, because everything is not indicative of someone not caring or loving me enough or anything like that. Yep. And so I've applied that to friendships as well.
I would say, what's a revelation I've came to about friendships? I would say that I think one thing I've learned about friendships this year, well, I would say, I guess I have two things. Is that okay? Two things? The first one is that I have realized that I give my friends space to, like, oh, you're having a day where you don't want to talk, that's fine. But if I do that, I feel really bad. Like, I feel like, oh, I'm missing something, or like my friend is mad at me, or I said something and they're upset. And it really could just be like, oh, you need a day, and like not take it like I did something wrong. Or not take it as like, it's okay for me to say, hey, I just need a day, and not feel like the other person is going to be upset with me if I like take a day. So I've been like working on that in my friendships, if that makes sense. And just, allowing my friendships to grow organically, as opposed to feeling like I always have to um compensate if something is not happening. And the other thing I feel like I learned about friendships this year is that for a while I think I wanted a lot of friendships. Like I felt like I needed a lot of friendships, and I felt kind of like I wasn't getting that. And I have like realized this year that the friendships that I do have are the friendships that I need, and that it's okay to pour into those friendships without feeling like I have to create space for other friends. Like my group, my circle is good just as it is, and I don't need to continue to expand it. Yeah.
For me, honestly, I have been struggling with feeling connected and staying connected to my friends, mainly because I do live in Chicago and most of my friends are in the DMV. I haven't really been able to see them during, COVID. So, and I was so used to like going out and spending time with them. Like that was our connection, right? But then that was taken away. And I'm not a person who feels a connection through the phone or through FaceTime. So I really have felt disconnected from a lot of my friends. And I'm hoping now that the world is opening back up that I will regain that connection. And I don't know if my friends feel that way, but I feel that way. And so I'm hoping, I'm hoping that I can regain that connection. I'm also struggling with, I think, um, uh, personality traits in some of my friends that don't match with mine. And so what I am trying to work on is um, just seeing the whole person for who they are. This is another thing. Actually, one thing that my husband told me just in marriage is that he had to learn how to separate like um the good with the bad, right? And so I am trying to do that with my friends. Realizing that this one particular trait of theirs is not who they are, right?
Not
And
all of who they are.
it's not, yeah,
Okay.
it's not all of who they are. This is just one particular area that I may have difficulties with, but it doesn't take away from them being a good person or a good friend, you know what I'm saying? And so honestly, that I've really struggled with that this year. Like I said, especially because most of my connections were built on going out, having a good time, traveling. And I do feel really far away from a lot of my friends. But I do feel like, like I said, now that things are changing, when I come home, I can see people more often. That hopefully like that connection comes back. I mean, I think of it like just like a relationship. When you go, so even though they say absence makes the heart grow fonder, I don't necessarily think that's always the case. I think like when you are apart for so long, that sometimes you do lose like that connection, at least for me. So yeah, I'm struggling with that, and I'm trying to work on it. I've been praying about it. So yes, God is going to do his thing, and also to reveal like what I need to do, because my idea of friendship is different for my friends. And it's like, how do you meet in the middle, right? To make sure that both needs are being met. So yeah, that's one thing I've been struggling with. So
Yeah. Yesterday we participated in Commencement, which is a weekly segment on Historically Black Sense. You can follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Historically Black Sense. And our conversation was about friendships after college. And yeah, I was really thinking about that because that's honestly, I have to admit, if I'm being honest, like I feel like that has happened to me and Christy. And I think that it's probably both, like it's all of these things, right? Because I I am a person, especially understanding what it's like to move away, that like when you come home, I'm really excited to see Christy. But that's also because Christy has other friends here. But when Christy was here, Christy was like my friend, like so I didn't have the same amount of people. And so I think that when you leave and you come back, there's so much pressure when you come back home to a place that's like is your home, to try to see everybody and do everything. And sometimes you really just even want to relax, right? From like your normal life. It's like you don't even always want to be running around. And so understanding that, I try to give Christy like her space when she's coming home to make those decisions about who she wants to see and what it is that she wants to do, because I understand that pressure and I don't want to put that pressure on her. At the same time, as a friend and as a person, I have to ask for what I need. And so ultimately this time I was like, hey, Christy, like when you come home, like, can we hang out? But that took a while for me to get to that place, because it's like, I don't want to be the person that's like, dang, you know what I mean? Like I already had 5 things and I got to see Rashawn, I just understand what that is like. And then also I feel like with transitions too, I like to allow people to settle into those transitions. And for me, transitions have always come with like change in friendships. And most times that change comes with somehow Rashawn is like left out. So I also like when oh Jesus Lord. So it's also when people change. I know, Chris, you need some tissue. So
I was gonna go ahead and napkin. I was gonna get you a soft tissue.
Oh, we got those upstairs. All we got is these napkins out here, the carry out napkins. But also what I'm saying is like, so for me, I'm also processing in my head, like when life changes happen, I'm almost like bracing myself for that. You know what I mean? So it's like, then it's like, I just kind of fade back, because that is my go-to coping mechanism that I'm trying to work on. And yeah, just like if your friendship is worth it, then at some point you have to like speak up, and then I am a phone person. That is not Christy's thing that she said. Now, I also want to preface this. I don't know if Christy was talking about me, okay? Because the way this is sounding, sounds like it might be talking about
no,
but
it's a struggle with, all of my friends. Really.
This might be me, y'all. Okay, I'm the person she stripped. Something just my earring. But no, seriously. I say all that to say, then it's like you really do have to have that conversation about like, okay, Christy, like I know that like, do we want to do something like your mom was saying on the last episode where we meet up every now and again, like, or can we have a phone conversation every other month, or like what would work for you, like to find that happy medium? Because it's like, yeah, you could always come back here, but even when you come back here, it's like you still have a lot of people, a lot of loved ones, like you can't, and you would have to be here for a whole month to really get through everything, So that's also something I would say, even during COVID, I realized just how much I missed my girls' trips. Because most of my friends are spread apart, and without those girls' trips that I used to have out of the country or in the country or whatever, like you don't see nobody. Yeah.
It's really tough because, like I said, I don't really feel close like I used to with anyone. And I don't know that like it's because of, I would say it's because of COVID, because I would have been coming back home regularly. We would have been hanging out or, whatever. I just feel so far away from a lot of people. And I'm just, like, how do you get back to the point? It's on my side. I don't know that. I haven't asked any of my friends like how they felt. I guess that's not a good thing to not ask them, but it's because
I also wouldn't say it's on you either, though, because
Well-
I feel like your friends also know this, and so it's also like, what is it, right? Because
Yeah.
like even when we came in December, like for me, I said to Courtney, I was like, we need to go see Christy for her birthday. And I was like, I know it's COVID, but I just need to see her. I'm an in person. I would always prefer in person as well.
Yeah.
But if not, then I need to at least hear your voice. And so for me, it was like, Courtney, we going to see Christy. Like, if we got to drive there, like, I just need, like, I have not seen her. I need to I want to make sure she's okay. So I think there's also that's like where the communication is, because it's not like you're figuring this out the same way your friends are now figuring it out. And if both people just aren't talking about like, so how do we make this friendship work now? You know? Then I think that's on both people. Yeah, I wouldn't solely blame it on you. And I know that that's hard, because when you move, you feel like I'm the person that made the decision to move, which means that it's on me to figure out how to make all of this work. And I just don't think that that's fair. Like Court, I don't know if you felt like that too when you move. And I feel like sometimes your family and friends make you feel like that, you know?
I think when I moved to Jersey, well, when I just moved away from home, period, I definitely felt like that. But when I moved to Jersey, I felt like I was the one who always had to make sure I went and did all of this stuff. Like, you feel like it's on you to make that.
I don't know. So I don't know if you can hear these dogs, but there's like two dogs that live next door, and it's a girl dog and a boy dog. And for whatever reason, the boy dog, he's so patient with the girl dog, because she just keeps up so much noise, and when she gets mad at him, she just goes off. So that's her.
It sounds like they fighting.
Yeah, that's like that's her going off. But if you were standing here watching, and you could see, they're not even fighting. It's her just going off on him, and then he goes into his little corner all quiet. Like, when I go out there, the boy dog is like, he's practically trying to jump over the fence to be like, save me.
Right. She better get him in check.
Oh no, I be feeling bad for him.
That poor dog.
I know, I'm feeling so bad for him. Okay, yeah. So you said that you felt like it was upon you to always.
Yeah, I think you feel like there's pressure on you as the friend who moved away to really make sure that you are keeping up the friendship. And if you feel like you're not, sometimes you can feel guilty and like feel like, oh, well, it's on me to figure it out. And I do think it's on both friends, but I think you also have to give yourself the space, like you were saying with Christy, to learn how to navigate that, like to learn what that looks like. And I think even when you're doing that around life-changing events, like getting married, having kids, I think that puts another pressure on it, because you're like, oh, I didn't just move away for a job or because I wanted to buy a house. I moved away for a reason. I have these kids, I have a husband. So then you're still trying to balance everything else out while trying to figure out how to, stay connected to your friendships, which can be really hard because you probably feel like you're being pulled in a couple of different directions and have to figure out how to hold on to each one.
Yeah, and even if it is a house or a job, that's still adjustment. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because I think a lot of people do that too. Like, oh, you buy a house and everybody wants to come over immediately, and you're just like, yo, like, I'm trying to figure out my bills. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay for, like, okay, it's a whole, like, I gotta get surveillance, like, you're just like, it's like all these adjustments that you make. I can't go out as much because now your mortgage is more than what you are paying. So you're trying to, figure out your balances. Like this, it's just any type of life change, but it is harder when that life change to me happens away from.
Yes.
Away from people.
So I have a follow-up question. I mentioned like looking at your friends as the whole person and taking the good with the bad, right? How do you handle when someone or other people are in your ear kind of saying like,
Oh,
you know,
don't trust that girl.
that, or like,
She ain't really your friend.
yeah,
What's the
things
song?
like
She's not your friend.
that. This has happened in the past, and in many situations over the years, and I've had to learn the hard way. But how do you handle that? Do
Wait, you
listen?
learned the hard way because the person that was telling you about this person was right, or you learned the hard way because you let go of a friendship that you probably shouldn't have?
Because the person in the ear was right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So how do you handle that? Like, do you listen? Do you take heed to what other people are telling you, or do you just go with your gut, even if you might end up getting hurt in the friendship or burned or whatever you want to call it?
I'm a burn always. This is friendships, relationships. I'm gonna burn always. I have to touch the stove myself.
You have to what? Touch the stove yourself.
Stove myself. Yeah, I've
Okay.
never really been a person because even I've had people be like, "Well, you don't see how they treat me," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's how they treat you, but that ain't really our friendship."
Mhm.
And there have been times when, yeah, I have friends now who, yeah, and that's their story with these people, but that's not my story with them. But then I've also had the same thing where I did have to learn on my own eventually. It did come out, but yeah, I personally feel like I'm always going to appreciate my friends for looking out for me, but once you say it once to me, that's it. Because I'm also, as my friend, I have this loyalty thing, and I keep seeing this quote attributed to Jay-Z. Don't tell me what someone said about me. Tell me why they felt comfortable enough to come to you to say it. And so I take that even within my friendship. So you can tell me that you feel a person is disloyal, they da 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 da. That's gonna be one time, and that's gonna be it. And we're gonna talk about, because I'm not gonna allow you to keep doing that over here, But I because you're my friend, I know it's coming with love. So I'm gonna I'm gonna have my little eye open, maybe, but I'm not gonna, yeah. The person gonna have to show me.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I feel like
Unless you got
I'm, huh?
If you got receipts, like a text message where the person's talking crazy about me, okay, all right, that might be something different. But
You can check the transcript, then yeah, that's a different
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the same way. Like I take the advice, I take it, but I also think you have to figure that out for yourself, because like Rashana said, their relationship might be a little different. But it's not to say that the person who's telling you doesn't have a strong reason why, or intuition, or gut feeling on why, but maybe you just haven't gotten to that point where either you recognize it, or you're telling yourself you have to stop tolerating it. Because I think there's another level, like, yeah, that person can be doing it, but if you're tolerating it, then that's on you. Like, hey, you're sitting in the shit and you're allowing yourself to fester. But when you get to a point of like, I don't want to tolerate it no more, then that's different. So I think for me, I've always had to get to the point where I recognize it and I'm saying, okay, this is how I feel and I need to make this change about it. But yeah, and maybe I'm wondering, as the person who's telling the friend about it, I think the same thing like Rashana, like you say it once and then it's kind of like, okay, I'm not going to say it again. But do you stop hanging with that person? Like if your friend is like, oh, we're going out with so-and-so, like, oh, I don't want to go. Do you feel obligated to like still stay as the friend? It's interesting.
I'm laughing because you said that. I realized that I don't even take my own advice, right? Because I feel like, and I think you can agree. Like Courtney has some friends that I just was not feeling, and I feel like I took every opportunity to tell her like I don't really care for them, and I definitely told you more than once. So I don't think I took that advice. I don't think I took all that advice in that situation, but it wasn't that I couldn't like hang out with them or whatever, because they're her friends. I just personally was like, that's not, they not my type of person. And I as a friend, I'm a very protective friend.
Mhm.
And so it's different. Oh, it's different when you don't like someone of your friends because they're not your type of person. It's another thing. And I feel like this is with Courtney, where I didn't like those people because I felt like they were hurting her. Right. So that became a whole nother level. And I'm a mama bear at heart. So like, I'm like, wait, what?
Mhm.
You know, like, wait, what? Like, what did you say? So I think probably that is probably the reason why I was so adamant, like, I don't really like them. Yeah. And I specifically remember, shout out to Sai. Congratulations on your twins, because that night really talked me off a cliff, because I was ready to throw down, because
It was a rough night.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like,
Mhm.
period. Yeah. So if you have a friend that's like doing something that is hurting you, I'm for real. It's really, it's how much time you want to wait before I say something. Yeah. And I know that's probably not the best way, but that is who I am.
Everyone needs one of those friends.
Like I'm trying to let you handle it, but like, you know, they gonna say something or do something that's gonna, yeah. We gonna have to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And that has happened with my friends. Actually happened on a trip in Barbados. Yeah. I tried to let my friend handle it, but when she didn't handle it,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though. I feel like from that situation, what I took from it is also like, okay, if someone else can see that this is shit, I need to figure out why I can't see that this is shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's also important too.
what do you think? It doesn't matter the source? Like, what if it's like your best friend? If your best friend saying it versus like a close friend or a regular friend?
I don't, so I do have like best friends, but I consider all of my friends like close. This is like my standard. If you were invited to my wedding, you're one of my close friends, right? And so I think all
y'all people that's with, if you watch,
I made it to the wedding. I'm okay.
That thought y'all was. No, it's because you are not on Christy's close friends list. Okay, you are not seeing her close friend story.
Where's the meme with the popcorn?
Right now, okay? There were, I did say last night on the IG Live, there were a few people that I could not invite.
Because y'all were not her close friends.
I mean, they weren't like my immediate circle of friends, you know?
This wine is good.
This wine is good.
That I invited, those are the ones that I talk to the most. Like, yeah. So anyway.
They're your close friends.
So any one of those people.
Somebody is watching this right now like, dang, I thought we was close friends, Christy.
I can't think of anybody, but no, I can't think of anybody that would watch except for a few people who we are cool. I can't think of anybody who would watch and be like, oh, I didn't know.
Well, whoever, if you're watching and you thought you was cool with Christy, but you wasn't at the wedding.
Okay, I'm
drag her in the comments.
Hey, hold on. What's the Beyonce song? Sorry, I ain't sorry.
Drag her in the comments. Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all. Are there any friends that you could think of that were not there?
No.
Like y'all know all of my friends.
Yes, close friends.
Yeah, I feel like all the friends I feel like you're really close to were there. That's true. That's true.
I know.
We're going to talk about this later after we finish.
I think all of her close friends were there. I was just thinking about one friend that was close that just disappeared.
Oh, I mean, aside from that, because we haven't talked.
I know.
Yeah. I saw the people that I talk to on a regular basis, the people who I am going to try to see when I come to the DMV were there.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like my circle right there. And so any one of those people, I mean, I would definitely hear them out. But I mean, I agree with you all. I want to know for myself, like I have to make that judgment call myself. I can't go off of someone else's word.
How does that make you feel though? Like, do you feel like you're in between, like you're in the middle?
I mean, sometimes. So we talked,
Mm.
last night on the IG Live, go back and watch on Historically Black Sense if you have not seen it. We did talk about just kind of, you can't um group certain friends together. And so I think, if I know that there's a friend who feels some type of way about another friend, then I'm not gonna, kind of bring them around each other. So I think that's typically how I maneuver it. But and this is not just right now. I'm talking about in situations in the past. Um, I've just kind of, I did have to learn from myself. I had to be the one to get burnt, and you live and you learn. But yeah, now I just wanted to get you all's thoughts on that because
Mm.
that's a real talk combo right
It is.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to think if I've had some. I have
Mhm.
people who, I've never had someone say like something like a person was not a good friend, like another friend that I have was not a good friend to me.
Mhm.
But I do have friends that don't really, now they don't like, yeah, they ain't each other's type of person.
Yeah.
And most of the times when that happens, I already know that that's what's gonna happen because I
Mhm.
know them.
Mhm.
And yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and so in those instances, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, like, why they not each other's type of person. Because it's like, I know my friends. Like,
Mhm.
you know your friends.
Yeah.
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 So real quick, I know I'm not the leader for this episode, but
Go ahead.
Lead us, girl. Lead us.
Yeah,
Lead us.
sometimes a lead is born.
so shifting gears, I wanted to ask Rashana and Courtney
Uh-huh.
two separate questions, but along the same line. So Rashana is talking about she is an entrepreneur. She has her own business, Vocal Action LLC. And I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give to aspiring or new entrepreneurs?
Don't do it. No, I'm joking. um, I would say I have a few quotes that I actually put on this year's From Brunch to Lunch journals that I would share with people. The first thing was Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. You need to be rooted to something that is bigger than yourself because oftentimes, if you are an entrepreneur, you are accepting a calling to something that is beyond what people say is the traditional way to be successful. And so there's that. Also, let me preface this. When I'm speaking to entrepreneurs, I'm really speaking to those who are aspiring to full-time entrepreneurship. There are people who are entrepreneurs that what they do is like a side hustle, and maybe one day it will blossom into full-time. But there's a different mental commitment, I think, when you are building a business that you want to financially sustain you, that is different than if it's like a hobby that's making money. And Vocal Action works with both of those. Check us out for the services. So yes, that would be the first thing. The other thing is cherish the race. I actually have that tattooed on my foot because it is a life mantra, but it also works in entrepreneurship. With social media, there's so much out there. I have a client right now who was feeling pretty discouraged starting her business because she's on social media. She hasn't been on social media for years, and she got back on so that she can market her business. And you see all these other businesses, and they have like the greatest graphics and the greatest posts, and they're posting every day. And it's like, you don't have that, you feel behind. And so you just have to cherish the race and know that what God told you to do, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, right? And so there's that. The next thing that goes along with that is you can't beat the process. You have to go through it because you cannot beat the process. You have to go through it. That is something that, yeah, that is something that I used to tell people. You just cannot beat the process. You have to go through it. And yes, you're gonna go through hard times. You're gonna feel those times where you're not sure, but you there's no way around it. There's no quick and easy way to really be an entrepreneur. You just gotta go through it like everyone. And then the last thing is enjoy the journey. So pace yourself on that journey and enjoy each milestone. I know even for myself, I have to check myself at times. And this is where friends come in handy, because they'll celebrate things that because your brain is always thinking about the next step, that you're like, yeah, okay, but I'm on to the next, right? And so you really have to enjoy the journey for what it is. Know that the journey is going to create space for you. It's gonna, like, you don't have to have like your full business plan. You don't have to know like what you're gonna sell, have all these things detailed out. Those things will reveal themselves as you start your business. And a good example is, I did not know what Vocal Action was. I just knew I liked the name. I wanted to do something in the future that would allow me to be able to be a mommy and chief, as Michelle Obama said. And in order, the type of mother and wife and the family that I want to build doesn't really fit in the traditional like lifestyle that Americans and I maybe even abroad, accept. So I wanted that. Then when I thought that I knew what Vocal Action was, and I mean I still believe what it is, there was something that came out of the blue, which was like people wanted business mentoring from me. And I shied away from that for a long time. I'm like, business mentoring was not on my list of services when I said that I wanted to do X, Y, and Z. But people see me as that, and I'm helping people do that. And I probably do that a lot. So it's like, yeah, okay, that's a service that I can offer. There's something that I can do. Today somebody wants me to help them with like building partnerships. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's something I can do. No, that wasn't something that was on the list, but I have a lot of skills that are transferable and, that can be advantageous to anyone. I make people successful, period. And so so enjoy the journey. It will make room for you. That is, cherish your race. Don't try to compete with nobody else, because when you try to compete, you're gonna fail, because there's nobody, you can't be another them. Only they can be them. And when you try to compete, you end up trying to do things like someone else did it. There's no room for duplicates.
Yes.
Okay.
So for Courtney's talked about, she has her blog, Stepping Into She, INTO, she. And so as a blogger, a lifestyle content creator, what advice would you give to those who want to start their own blog, who want to do lifestyle content? What would you tell them?
Oh, wow.
What lessons have you learned? Because it's been a year, right?
Yeah, oh my gosh, it has been.
Yeah. So what lessons have you learned in your first year?
My first year. I would say the first lesson I learned is don't overthink it. I think sometimes the perfection is like the stealer of joy, robs you of joy, something like that. I think that's a quote or something. I don't know, whatever. Anyway,
that's your quote.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that. But like sometimes you just don't overthink it. Like you want it to be perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. It's never going to be exactly what you want it to be. It's going to be exactly what it needs to be. So allow yourself that time. Like don't overthink it. And I would say the second thing is just do it. Like sometimes I'll sit there and I'll look at a picture and I'll be like, do I want to post it today? Do I want to post it tomorrow? It doesn't have the right caption. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Because what I've realized in my 1 year is the people that I thought I was going to reach, I didn't necessarily reach. But the people that I did reach are always there on my page, on my blog, reading, giving me comments, giving me support. And it connects with them. And it connects with people and you don't even realize it. Like I got a text from a girl maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. And she was just like, I read your blog and I need to highlight you because you didn't even realize how much this inspired me. And I didn't even know she followed me. I didn't even know like she was listening like that. And I was just like, wow, I didn't even know that I could have that reach. But it was on a post where I wasn't really happy with it. I was like, the caption is not that great. It's not my favorite one, but I was like, F it, I'm gonna just post it and do it. And that actually got a lot of feedback, a lot of good feedback. So I would say Don't overthink it, just do it. I would also say stick to what is true to why you're doing it. So stick to the reason why you started. Don't change because you see, oh, on Instagram, this is blowing up, or this blog is doing better, or that type of blog is doing better. Whatever you want to do, whatever's the reason you started to do this, stick to that reason, because that is always going to be the foundation of your success. Once you try, I think like Rashana said, once you try to compete or be something else, you've already lost. So stick to what's true to you and why you started. I would also say give yourself time to create. I need to like work for Planoly and Canva because I feel like I promote them entirely too much, but find stuff that allows you space to create and then rest. You have to give yourself space to create and then rest, because there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to have to dump content, and dumping content can get you through a whole month, and you can write like five or six blog posts at once and then just schedule them, and then that's your month of posting. You don't have anything else. You don't have to worry about, oh, I got to wake up at 7 o'clock and get something together because I have to post at 8 because of this and that. No, you already have it prepared. You already have it done. You don't have to worry about it. And then I would also say when you're blogging, I think sometimes you get to a point of you feel disconnected sometimes, and it's okay to take a break. Like there was a time where I didn't write for like 3 or 4 months, and I was feeling really guilty for not writing for like 3 or 4 months. But it was like sometimes you need to disconnect to reconnect. You need to take a step back. You need to remember why you're doing it. You need to make sure that the post and the stuff that you are writing about is true, that you're not just putting stuff out there because you need to put stuff out there, making sure that it's true to the reason why you started. And yeah, I would just say that. I think those are like the biggest pieces of advice. And I would also say there's always room for one more. So even if there's a million and one lifestyle content creators, million and one lifestyle bloggers, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't blog. That just means that you have to do your blog the way you want to do it, and there's always room for you in that field. There's always going to be room for you in that room. So don't take yourself out of the equation because you feel like it's oversaturated. It's not oversaturated because there's no one else like you in that room.
Yeah, I also want to add to that because I was listening to Deval and Kadeen of the Deadass podcast, and I love. I follow them on Instagram, which is surprising because I don't really follow many like couples and stuff. But I resonate with them maybe because they're from up north, and Kadeen comes from Caribbean household, and they were on the Breakfast Club, and Deval was speaking about the videos that he did, and he was like an extra, a stunt double. He did stunts on Power, and he had a chance to meet 50 and kind of show him his stuff. 50 kind of blew him off at first, but then looked at some things, and 50 told him, he's like, some of these are actually funny, like just keep doing this. And this is before he had like a bunch of followers. This is before all the success came. I think he said at that point he might have had 1,000 followers, right? And what 50 told him is that the good thing is that if you keep doing this, when you blow up, right, you'll already have a catalog of material that people that are new that will start following, they'll go back and they'll look at. And I really took that to heart, especially for the type of business I'm in, which is consulting and strategy consulting. That no, I may not have landed that large contract yet, but I am building my portfolio. I'm building my catalog so that when that large contract does come in, those large contracts and partnerships do come in, they'll be able to see like, oh, she's not new to this. She's true to this. She's been talking about this since X, Y, and Z date. And these are her receipts to show that. So you can always build off of that. And so I said that to say, yeah, sometimes you don't even know your audience, but you just kind of just got to see what is going to pop off, especially if you're using social media to be a catalyst for your marketing, or to be a vehicle for your marketing, to be a catalyst for your success. Like you just don't know, and that's okay, especially if it's not your friends. Because I think that's the other thing that I've learned in entrepreneurship and friendships too, is like, no one is gonna love your baby the way you love your baby.
Mhm.
Right? Like, know what, like, and so yeah, your friends, they're gonna repost most times, but they probably aren't gonna repost all the time. They probably not even gonna watch all your stuff all the time, but like, but that's okay, because ultimately they might not be your target person, right? Your person is that girl that is reading your blog and saying you helped her through something, so also just remember that too. Just because your friends think it's whack don't mean that it's whack.
Yep.
Yes. Well, ladies, we're going to do a rapid round of this game. It is called the voting game. I don't remember how you play. We're going to make up our own rules. It may actually be the rules, but I'm going to read a card.
This is upside down. I was trying to show it, but it's yes, here it is.
It's the voting game. Shout out to the voting game. If you see this, you need to partner with us, or you know, whatever. Sponsor us.
And it's funded with Kickstarter, so that's really interesting
cool.
too. Yeah.
So we're gonna do a rapid round of this. We need to do a part 2 of this because I feel like there was so much that we could have touched on.
Yes.
But time is of the essence. So the way we're gonna do this is I'm gonna read the card and we're gonna say who is most likely to do these things.
Okay.
Who is ruthless about correcting your spelling and grammar? I would say Rashana.
Yeah, I would say Rashana. Yep.
Me too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's always like, your spelling is off. Oh, well, damn.
That is me because sometimes I read my stuff and I don't know if y'all notice, if I make a mistake, if you go back 3 hours later, it's corrected because I will read it myself over and over again. I'm like, dang, why'd you say? And I also think it's because of the industry that I'm in, like being a strategy consultant. If I'm posting something, I want people to know that I can write well and I'm not making small mistakes because they're looking at like, oh, see, she has no attention to detail. And they may look, that is me. Mm-hmm. I am. I was gonna say me too.
Who is currently reading a self-help book?
I'm reading Getting to Happy by Terry McMillan.
That's not a self-help book though. I guess it can.
It's helpful.
I think I'm reading a self-help book. Or I read a self-help book this year, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think it's probably me or Courtney.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you still haven't even read We Over Me.
No.
Yeah, so
I'm going to Erica, girl. Yeah.
I read that last month. So
Erica, she ain't read it, girl.
Who could give the best toast right now?
Christy.
I
Yeah.
could.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. Whose spirit animal is an accountant? Rashada.
Spirit.
I don't know if I feel like any of us is a spirit animal accountant.
I think professionally, Rashada, because you're more like analytical.
I do handle money and contracts. So
my spirit animal is no oh child, I'm on the other side. I'm on the other side. I don't even know what an account is.
Who will marry someone who isn't born yet?
Courtney.
That would be me. I'd be the J-Lo of the group.
Gabrielle Union.
Huh? Oh, Gabrielle Union. That's who. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Tina Turner.
There you go.
Who is hungover the next day after having 2 beers?
I don't think any of us.
I think that's any of us.
Yeah.
In this club, we hold our liquor. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when I can't hold it no more, I know it's time to go. Wrap it up.
Who is most easily seduced?
I don't know. That could be a toss-up. It depends on who's talking to me.
I feel like if it came down to it, it'd probably be me.
You think that? Okay.
Regardless of whoever's saying something. I'm probably like, but you know what? I don't know, because Rashana, somebody could say something. They could just say the littlest thing and she'd be like, oh, really? And then engage in the whole conversation. You know what? I'll take it back. It might be you. It might be you. Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Who hits snooze on their alarm clock at least 5 times before getting out of bed? That's me.
That's me.
Me too.
I guess it's all of us.
Mhm.
Oh gosh.
Side note, I played this game with like a mixed crowd. This was after I played it with you all, and it was like so interesting because like it was some of these questions that Christy's not reading are very funny.
Who has already put themselves on the list for a liver transplant? Probably all of us.
I ain't put myself on no list for no liver transplant.
I guess that's you, Christy, because you said it's all of us, so it might just be you.
I done had me some nights, okay? Who is so unpredictable, even they don't know what's next?
Christy.
I would say that's me.
Mhm.
Who would be your one phone call if you got arrested?
I don't know if either one of y'all would answer. That's the problem. It
I
depends.
think it depends on the time. If you call me after 11 o'clock, I probably wouldn't answer.
I know. So yeah, I don't know because Christy was my emergency contact before she moved. But Courtney does not answer the phone after 10:30. I think your phone goes with D&D.
11.
11, yeah. Oh, so that's what you up the time.
It's always been 11.
No, because I feel like it used to be like 10 or 10:30.
Only on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is 10 o'clock. Any other day.
I could call either one of them, but I would probably call Christy because Christy would have the bail money. I believe
you're right.
I think Christy would at least have the bail money. Courtney would be like,
it depends on what you need.
Courtney would be like,
how much bail is.
Courtney would be like, girl, let me call Christy.
Well, I'd be like, let me get the 3-way pop and hold, please.
Let me see how much you need. Okay, hold on.
All right, this is the last one, and I'm going to change it up. This is going to be for all of us.
Okay.
Who would be a great addition to the reality TV show blank? So who would be, for each of us, what reality TV show would we be on?
Oh.
I'm going to say Rashada for The Circle. Have y'all watched The Circle?
Yeah, I love that show.
So I'm gonna have to watch it now.
I think you would be really good.
Oh, okay. Is it? I was hoping you would say Married at First Sight.
I mean, no, I would say because I don't watch a lot of the reality, like
the social media experiment where you have to you only communicate.
I would like that.
Yeah.
And it's it's like a social media game. You have to form alliances and
oh yeah. So I like that. Okay.
I don't know.
I've always said Christy, I wanted her to be a part of the flock, which is a made up show.
I was like, what?
First Ladies of Chicago. First Ladies of Chicago.
I am not a first lady.
So if not that show, then I would want to see her on a Real Housewives show. I think that she'd be really good on any of them, actually.
Yeah.
I think you could fit in. And then Courtney, I think I could see Courtney on like a Real World. Yeah, either Real World or or Survivor.
I'm trying to think of the shows that I watch, which is really only Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Potomac, Married to Medicine. That's about it. In The Circle.
I think Courtney would do good on Survivor.
I could see myself on that show.
Yeah.
I would like it.
She got heart. Now I don't know if she's gonna be like eating all the bugs and stuff like that, but in terms of like the grit and the drive needed to win that show, like she'd find that strength to do whatever she needed to do for that $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Survivor. Mhm.
I could definitely see Rashawn on The Circle. Definitely.
Oh, now
Yeah.
I gotta watch
You gotta watch
it.
it.
Yeah, I can definitely see you on The Circle. Because she'd be like, oh, well, let me say this.
They're like
Oh,
the
they
applications are open. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta look
You
at it,
gotta
but I'll apply. Let's see.
What show can I see Christy? I feel like I can see Christy on
I'm that person.
like a Real Housewives or something. I think I can see you on that. I don't really know what other reality shows I watch.
Yeah, I can't really. I'm trying to think of like for Courtney. I don't really watch too many reality shows, so I guess the closest would be. I don't know. I could see you on The Circle too.
No, I'd be like, fuck this. I ain't doing it no more. I don't feel like I ain't doing it. I'd be like, no, thank you.
I need to watch more. I mean, I don't need to watch more, but reality shows. But
You know what show I could see myself on? Probably like a Love and Hip Hop or something.
I was gonna say you could be like a friend of on like Real Housewives.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you end up big like Jason Lee.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Or I don't know. I don't know. But this was fun, ladies.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
Do like a part 2, hopefully.
sorry, my phone is ringing. I don't know how to stop it.
Just press the button.
The phone is all over there, and the phone and the laptop are both ringing. So that's why it's just that it's really the laptop that's ringing. The phone is vibrating.
I'm done.
Well, hopefully for those listening and watching, hopefully you got to know us a little bit better with our real relevant, what's the other thing?
Relatable.
Combo.
Yes. So you guys can catch us. You can catch this episode. Why are y'all laughing?
Yes.
Because I was like, oh, it's me. It's me. You can catch this episode on what's our date? Oh, hold on, pause, please. I try to get myself together. You can catch this episode on May 20th, streaming everywhere you get your podcast and your YouTube shows. You can definitely watch us on YouTube.
But the next episode is actually our last episode.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this episode, this is the second to last episode.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so our next episode is our last. We made it, y'all, to the end of this. Like, we did that. Huh?
This is 20.
Yeah, we did that.
So 20.
Shout out to us.
Yes.
Putting on a podcast during the pandemic, coming up with 20 episodes and coming up with followers and listeners that come true every time we release an episode, that follow us, that stay tuned, that drop us questions, that support us, and that share our podcast with their loved ones.
Subscribe, follow.
Out to y'all. Yes, like, subscribe, send, share, do it all. You can catch us on Instagram at 1000 Club Life as well as Facebook. You can also catch us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Anchor, and all the places you stream your podcast. And I guess that's it, y'all. Until next time.
Peace.
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 Bye.
Peace.